something for you. The new parts have been fitted to the car. The simulation numbers are good, so look forward to your feedback. Check out the details.
What is up, guys? JayFerGaming here. Welcome back to my F1 2017 career mode. This is episode 2, the Chinese Grand Prix. If you're new to my channel, do hit that subscribe button for this career mode and a number of other series on F1 2017. And if you have missed the first race of the season, you have to go check it out. An unbelievable start to this career mode. I'm so psyched for this. I'm really enjoying it already, and it's just such a thrill playing this game. I hope you guys are enjoying F1 2017 as well. So, in terms of R&D, we have made one upgrade already in terms of durability. We've got a second upgrade, an upgrade to the front wing, which will be ready for Bahrain. You can see already we're getting very close to the Renault team in terms of vehicle performance, and that's only after one upgrade. So it's just great driving this car, I've got to say. Even with no upgrades in Australia, the car felt planted, absolutely brilliant. And we've got to look into managing the power unit and the gearbox. I've got no past or history of even considering damaging the engine or anything, but I'm not really sure how we're going to manage it this season, but we're going to stick with the same power unit from the first race, and I guarantee I forget to change it over the season and I incur some sort of penalty, or we have an engine blow up. So let's get ready for the qualifying of the Chinese Grand Prix.
From wherever in the world you join us today for this F1 qualifying session here in Shanghai, China.
So we're on our first run in Q1, locking up into the hairpin, but we're looking good so far on this lap. In terms of qualifying in Australia, the car felt great, a little bit better than it does here, but we didn't get out of Q1. That's the aim of this session in Shanghai, to get out of Q1. So Hamilton's put in a 34.6, and we're only 1.3 seconds off that, so that's a very solid first lap in the session, and we ended up dropping down to P9, and at this point I was thinking about half a second ahead of the drop zone. I felt pretty confident about simming to the end of the Q1, and we did actually get through along with Carlos Sainz. So Palmer was the fall guy in this session, along with the two McLarens and Saubers. I can imagine them two teams will get eliminated most sessions this season, but we're into Q2 for the first time, so that's a great achievement. And on our first run, the car just felt planted to the track once again. It felt really good. Ricciardo puts in a 35.0 after 2 sectors. We're half a second down, which isn't too shabby. We might lose a bit on the back straight there, but come around the final corner, Vettel's actually put in a time, and it's on the soft compound, just to make me feel a little bit worse about this car. But we're 1.3 seconds off, and he is on the slower compound. So yeah, improvements can be made. We're on our final run. We're currently down in P14, only ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, so we are improving so far. Just looking to get into Q3. That would be a brilliant achievement for the Toro Rosso team, getting one of our cars into the final session. Sainz is currently P13, and we can nearly do that left-hander flat. Just a few upgrades, and I think maybe next season we can do that all the way flat. That will be such a brilliant feeling. But we're coming around the final corner. We're close to being 4/10 up on our previous best. Coming to the line. Are we going to get into Q3 at the second race of the season? No, we're not. We've missed out by less than a tenth. Unbelievable how close that is. Only 9/10 off first place in Q2. I know the lead time will be on the soft compound, but unfortunately we've got knocked out along with our teammate. But 11th, we're in a great position in terms of strategy as well and positioning. So let's get to the race.
Joining me once again to take you through this race is the effervescent Anthony Davidson, and I'm very much looking forward to it getting underway. You raced here, of course, didn't you, back in your Super Aguri days in that infamous Chinese Grand Prix of 2007?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't last that long, though, unfortunately. Qualifying had gone pretty well, but my brakes failed quite early in the race, around lap 10 or 11, something like that. And of course, back in 2004, I was the very first Formula 1 driver to complete a lap of this circuit. Just thought I'd mention that for you, Crofty. You like a good stat. It's a fairly tough circuit on the brakes here, though. You know, it's that long back straight down into turn 14, and then you got turn 6 and 11. They're quite heavy as well. On top of that, managing your front tyre wear is always a challenge around here, so there's a lot to keep in mind during the Grand Prix.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Massa, Ricciardo, Stroll, Ocon, and Sergio Perez. A Toro Rosso, Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, and Sainz, Hülkenberg, Palmer, Fernando Alonso, and Stoffel Van Dorn. Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So that's all the build-up for the Chinese Grand Prix. Just looking at strategy here, and we're starting in P11, so we've got our first choice on fresh tyres. And we'll be starting on the softs and hopefully doing a one-stop moving on to the mediums. I feel like that's going to be the optimum strategy for us and hopefully power us into the points. So we're building up to the start of the Chinese Grand Prix, 5 lights, and away we go. We don't get a great start really on these softs. We're kind of line astern with Perez. We've actually got Grosjean putting us under pressure up the inside into turn 1. And this is a very tricky section of the track, especially at the start. I can see there's a bit of barging going on ahead. Raikkonen's nearly lost it, and Massa I think nearly spun as well. Oh, we've hit the back of Verstappen there. He moved across and just randomly slowed down, but no damage fortunately for us. And we've still got Grosjean on our outside. He's being a bit of a pest at the moment, barging into us as well. He's going to be later on the brakes I think because Verstappen's in the way unfortunately. And we're just trying to regain our position. We've actually lost a position, and that was such a crazy start. The AI really fighting each other and myself really hard, and it's not really what I'm used to. Usually you can make up a number of positions quite quickly, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case on this game, and it's so much more enjoyable. I mean, we've lost a position, but still, it's so much fun. Grosjean and Verstappen really fighting hard there, side by side. That's giving us a run on Grosjean and possibly a run up the inside of Verstappen, trying to outbrake Max, which we do. It's quite an achievement to actually do that, but the Red Bull seems to be struggling quite a bit on this first lap. And are we going to go around the outside? No, we're not. He's just really slow. He keeps randomly lifting off the power as well, so we've got the run. Let's see what the Toro Rosso straight line speed is compared to the sister team of the Red Bull, and it looks like we've got ahead, and it looks like Grosjean is going to get the better of Verstappen as well. A shocking start from Max. So under braking, we've got ourselves up to P10 on the first lap. It's only been 1 position gained, but it seems like we've just had so much action and really has been enjoyable. So Bottas is leading the race at the moment. That's the first lap out of the way, and we're going to have a quick replay of the start, because one thing I did notice was the Ferrari started P3 and P4 and then ended up P7 and P9, and I just wondered how the hell did that happen. It didn't really get a shocking start either. It's nearly 4 wide into turn 1 though. It's the Williams of Felipe Massa, I think it is there. And then the other Williams, as Stroll makes more contact, Raikkonen nearly spins it. The Williams have been a thorn in the side of Ferrari in this first couple of turns. You can see Massa just pushing Vettel out the way as well. That was so intense, that battle into turn 2, but the 2 Mercedes are absolutely miles ahead. It's Stroll in P3, but then Massa in P4, who has got a few issues, which you might have heard my engineer mention, and he's really holding up the pack behind him, so I knew we need to get ahead of Massa as soon as possible, and we nearly ran into the back of Raikkonen there. The whole pack was just so slow through that section, but we've got the move done. I think he's going to try and hang around the outside, but this has been such a bad start for Ferrari, and it's Williams that's causing the issue. So onto the back straight now. I'm guessing Massa won't be that quick, as he does have issues, but the 2 Force Indias and Vettel are all trying to get past him. So am I, and I've got Kimi right behind me. We've got 6 cars in such close proximity. Something is going to happen in this hairpin, surely. 3 wide. Then me and Ocon side by side. Massa's gone wide. Ocon's made contact with him. There's a bit of contact ahead between Perez and Vettel, but we seems to have got through that. I think Ocon's actually coming back. He's got the inside line, and he actually goes into the pits. That's a really dangerous move into that final corner. We do give him a bit of a nudge. We get locked, wheel lock? I don't know what you would call that, but at wheels locked together. And I'm sure someone's got a penalty for that in real life. But yeah, Ocon's into the pits. Raikkonen's gone for the move. Is he going to hang around the outside? It's turn 1. Look at the speed he's taking. He's sideways. I'm not sure if he spun it there. No, he's regained control of the car. But I don't think I've ever seen the AI do that. Just go flying into turn 1 like that. Sideways. Back end stepping out. That was absolutely crazy. And on to lap 5 now. We're going to get DRS on the back of Perez, who seems to have dropped off the back of Vettel, I think it is, who's going after Stroll. So with DRS, we're going to see if we can overtake the Force India, as Raikkonen's got DRS on both of us. So he's going to make it 3 wide into the braking zone, into the hairpin. Who's going to come out on top here? Perez has been shoved out to dry. I don't know where Raikkonen is actually. He's still on our outside now, so we'll be side by side into the final corner. I just can't believe we're battling with the Ferrari this intensely, because the Ferrari's way faster than this Toro Rosso. But we've actually got decent run with DRS here. Perez has actually come from the ashes, and we're going to be 3 wide once again into turn 1, and I thought, nah, I'm not doing that. Braking early, I thought Perez would go straight into the side of me, and Kimi sideways. The back end keeps stepping out for him. I don't know if he's got the wrong setup or something, but he nearly lost it 3 times there. I've got to see the replay of that. So good job I broke early, because Perez would have speared into the side of me, and that back end on the Ferrari is all over the place, and that's allowed me to get side by side with him. So on board with Kimi, this is going to be so fun. I've never seen the AI so sideways fighting the car. So steps out, second time there. His third time's a big slide, nearly loses it. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And now we're trying to fight against Raikkonen, but no, he gets better traction there. There's a yellow flag, I think, just ahead of us. What's going on here? Who's got problems? And it's actually Lewis Hamilton. I think Hamilton's got a puncture. Him and Bottas were so far ahead in the lead, you'd think it was a guaranteed 1-2 for Mercedes, but oh, it's gone to pot for Hamilton. What a shame. I'm absolutely devastated. We've gained a free position from that, and we're up to P6. And this is Hamilton, I think a lap late. He still hasn't reached the pits yet. That's pretty much game over for Hamilton, especially with the safety car rules on this game where lap cars can't re-overtake the safety car. I'm not sure if that's the case on this game, but I would presume that. So coming to the end of lap 7, that's been a fantastic opening stint for us as Lance Stroll is into the pits from P3, putting on the super softs. DRS has been disabled because I'm guessing the virtual safety car is out. Yes, it is. I don't know what incident that is for, because Hamilton had made it to the pits by that time, so yeah, that's a strange one. We're up to P5, which went to P4 as Raikkonen made his pit stop. So Ricciardo is really struggling. The Red Bulls don't seem to be strong around China, which is really strange because you'd think this is a perfect track for their car and Adrian Newey, really. And it's actually Grosjean who's the fastest out of the three of us. We're going to shape for the move up the inside of Ricciardo. Is Grosjean going to go for the move into the hairpin? Not 3 wide again. I've had enough of 3 wide. Late on the brakes, going a little bit too wide there. Ricciardo fights back, regains the position with the switchback. We've got Bottas on our tail as well, who's made his first pit stop. And we're taking the final corner. I didn't know he was going for the move down the inside. He kind of pushes us through there. And there's no doubt that the Mercedes will get ahead of us. He is effectively the race leader, and by quite a distance as well. Side by side with Grosjean into turn 1. Is he going to go around the outside of me? Because I think me and him will be battling for a long time in this race. Because, you know, I think we have similar performance cars. And even though he is on the super softs, he is slightly quicker than me, but he just didn't have enough to get past. He's finally got past on lap 10 now and puts him up to P4 now. We've got his teammate Magnussen behind us. So we are in a Haas sandwich. I never thought I'd be saying like Haas sandwich in these videos. But yeah, we're in a Haas sandwich. And Grosjean does go into the pits at the end of that lap after eventually getting past us. So I think he might be going for a one stop. He would be if he does put on the mediums. So it's going to be interesting to see our strategy compared to his, because he would get the undercut. And we obviously have his teammate just behind us as well. So Magnussen's gone into the pits. That is Max Verstappen out the race, compiling a terrible race for Red Bull so far. And seconds later, Hamilton's out the race as well. The skipping of the clips there is because I did pause after each one to look for a replay of what happened. I didn't actually see anything, but we are coming into the pits at the end of lap 12 to put on the mediums for 16 laps, hopefully going to the end. And yeah, that was a really good stint. Tyre wear wasn't too bad, and I was kind of trying to preempt a virtual safety car. That would have helped us a little bit, not as much as on last year's game, because the Delta is a lot quicker than it was last year. So coming in along with Hulkenberg, and that's a pretty decent stop. I've actually learned the procedure and what I actually need to do now. So I don't think we lost too much time there. So is that Grosjean going past? And Magnussen. So Magnussen's executed the undercut there. Daniel Ricciardo's just behind us. So I think we are fighting with the Haas drivers for around maybe 5th, 6th, 7th, something like that. But that any of them would be absolutely incredible result for us. But I feel like we can beat these Haas drivers. I think we're going to have a slight pace advantage, but we'll have to see how it pan out in this second half of the race. And we're closing on Magnussen. We finally got DRS, and we will be closing in. And oh, Carlos Sainz is out of the race. He's pulled off at the hairpin, and he's had a terrible start to the season. He was running P5 in the early stages of the Australian Grand Prix, but then he got a puncture and it was a disaster for the rest of the race for him. And now he's out here. He wasn't really threatening the top 10, but he definitely needs to pick up his game, as we need to score some more points in the constructors. And yeah, if anything, I'll be first driver as soon as I know it, which will be great in terms of R&D points. But we finally caught up to the back of Magnussen on the back straight. We're going for the overtake into the hairpin. Later on the brakes. Oh, very late on the brakes. We had to go down to gear 1 there, and we just got the move done. And that's what DRS was brought in for. It's just so the overtake, like, bring you alongside the other car, and it's not an easy overtake like it's been in the past few years. It's more satisfying, I suppose DRS overtakes can't be that satisfying, but a little bit more satisfying than it has been in the past. So, up to P5 now, I think. Is that Stroll that's coming out the pits now? Yes, it is. He's on the soft compound, so he's come out in P8 now. So with 9 or 10 laps to go even, or 9 laps to go now, he could be putting us under pressure. So I don't know if... wait there. There's a yellow flag just behind us. Magnussen is out. That's kind of unfortunate for the entertainment of the race, but it does make things a little bit easier for us. Because Grosjean, myself and Magnussen had very similar pace. It was really quite a battle. It was a 10th either way, and... I just can't believe how even pace we are, and we're all fighting for P4, and it looks like it's between myself and Grosjean now. Stroll doesn't seem to be close enough, and to be reeling us in close enough either. So we've got DRS now, so we're closing in on Grosjean, getting closer and closer, and this is the battle. It really is. It just reminds me of my first season in F1 2016. It was always me against Grosjean, and it seems like we've got the same scenario once again in the first season of F1 2017 career mode. So, DRS, this is the closest we've been. We have been quite low on fuel, so I have been having to manage it, and I knew this was the time to go to rich mix up the inside. Have we got the move done? This yellow flag behind us on the back straight. I think someone has retired. Grosjean's fighting back, and he's got the inside line for the final corner. Hulkenberg is out of the race. I think he was fighting with Stroll, so that's interesting. It really is. So Stroll's been unleashed, and he might be chasing down me and Grosjean, especially if we fight tooth and nail like we are at the moment. It's such a great battle. We're just on the tail of him. He goes slightly wide. Will this give us a shot of going up the inside? Looks like he's gone wide. I actually went a little bit wide as well. I didn't mean to follow him through there, but still side by side. Oh, we don't get great traction from turn 2 here, so Grosjean gets back ahead of us. Hopefully there's no safety car, virtual safety car this time, because this battle is awesome. Late on the brakes, double lock up. Can we get the move done? I think Grosjean's fighting back. No, he gets the switch back, then moves across weirdly. So now we're going to be side by side through, I think, turn 7 and 8. The flat left-hander, but no, it's not flat because Grosjean lifts off the throttle there. We make a bit of contact, and wow, this battle. The AI have been improved so dramatically. It's so fun. It really is. Hope you guys are enjoying this, because this battle was so intense. And all for P4. That would be a fantastic result for Haas or Toro Rosso. And actually Grosjean finished 4th in Australia, so what a start to the season he's having. We're on lap 26 now, and once again we are pretty close, so I am deploying the rich mix and DRS. Can we overtake the Haas driver? Yes, we can. I don't know if he's saving fuel, because that was a lot easier than overtaking Magnussen earlier on. Earlier on the brakes this time, gets the car slowed down, and we're up to P4. So with 2 laps to go, can Grosjean take off or take back 4th position for us? And I think it is between us now. I don't see Stroll closing in. He's about 6 or 7 seconds behind Grosjean. I don't think it's going to be enough, with 39 seconds behind Raikkonen. So wow, the pace of the Ferrari and the Mercedes, absolutely incredible. We're absolutely nowhere near, but we're skipping to the end of the race now. Bottas has won this Chinese Grand Prix. He ought to, because Mercedes were absolutely dominating this early on, and it looks like we are going to hold off Grosjean for now through the final corner, and we're going to come home in our 2nd race of the season. A fantastic P4, the Chinese Grand Prix. 12 points on the board, and wow, what a race that was. We were helped by a few retirements.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today.
So here are the results of the Chinese Grand Prix. Bottas takes the victory from the 2 Ferraris. The 2 Ferraris recovering from a very tricky early first part of the race. But Bottas with the 2-stop only beat Vettel by a second, so I don't think the 2-stop was the strategy to go for here, because like Stroll, he was up there in P3 earlier on and he's lost out quite a bit, so we've ended up in P4. Brilliant finish there for like the likes of ourselves, Grosjean, Stroll. Palmer's actually got some points, which is absolutely incredible considering what's happening to him in real life. Alonso got a couple of points from McLaren, so yeah, a lot of teams scoring points in this Chinese Grand Prix. Seems like Force India are really struggling. No one scoring, and Ericsson was in the middle of them, so Sauber were actually quite close to scoring points as well. So what a race that was. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and obviously leave a like if you did enjoy. I really appreciate it. So now we'll have a quick look at the driver standings after 2 rounds. So who's leading? It's Kimi Raikkonen from Sebastian Vettel. Decent start the season for the Ferrari guys. Bottas, Grosjean after 2 4th places is of course in 4th place, just ahead of Hamilton, and ourselves. We've had a very good start of the season, and we are ahead of both Red Bull, so I'm very happy with that. And then we look further down, Palmer on par with Hulkenberg, pretty much, and yeah, you won't be saying that too often, especially in real life. How many drivers have scored? 13 already. Come on, Carlos, you need to get off the bottom. That's really embarrassing. Over to the constructors. Ferrari from Mercedes, great start for Haas, and we're in P5. If we can aim for P5 for the end of the season, I'll be very happy with that. So Sainz, start scoring points. Hope you enjoyed that video. Please do leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time out. Goodbye.